Well, Amy, I want to thank you for taking time out to do the Art of Fearlessly Giving Back interview. Tell everybody who you are and what your company is.
So I'm Dr. Amy Brannon. I'm a physical therapist and I own T.O.P.S Physical Therapy, where we have an outpatient private clinic. We basically see a lot of the general population. We do basically from adolescents all the way up to geriatrics. It just kind of depends, and we do a lot of athletes. So whether they're industrial athletes, weekend warriors, whatever the case may be. So we get them all in and try and get them back to doing what they did in their previous life, and if not, do something better than what they were doing before.
Do you do any professional teams?
Yes, yeah. So we definitely have professional athletes that come through. We have hockey, swimming. We have some Olympians that are coming in, getting ready to go for 2020. So a little bit of football, you name it. We've got a little bit of everything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Very
I mean,
fun.
it doesn't just happen accidentally that happens.
No.
So good for you. So why did you start your clinic?
T.O.P.S Physical Therapy was started mostly because a gentleman named Chad and I really felt that we had another niche that we wanted to reach, a population of people that we wanted to reach outside of what we had been previously doing in our previous employment. And so we went out and decided to get T.O.P.S Physical Therapy together and really put together that middle-aged group of people. And like I said, we get like 15, we have some younger kids, but 15-year-olds all the way up to 70, 80 years old, really trying to just get them back into higher level activity than what they're already doing.
And so tell me a little bit about your clinic's core values. This whole project is about values and living them. So tell us a little bit about what you guys believe in at T.O.P.S.
So our number one thing is respect for everybody. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that we want to make sure that no matter what you're coming in with, that we have respect for you, your body part, your injury, what you had going on in your life before. All of that stuff leads to healing. So whether it is something going on emotionally that's going on that's leading to some type of physical injury, whatever the case may be, we really want to respect that about the person. So that's something really big for us, to make sure that we respect what they have, respect who they are as a person, because we feel that if they can improve physically, that's something that the emotional tie needs to come in as well. Because then they'll believe that they're healed, they'll believe that things are better, and then they get better overall in life. We like to make sure that everybody understands that they're treated equally. So we don't care. I mean, I just finished with a 80-year-old gentleman that comes in, and I mean, you would think he was 65. He has a ranch out in Nebraska, and he really wants to get after it. Yeah, and so it's really cool because he's just like, I know I don't seem like I'm like this, but that's something we're trying to get him back doing what he wants to do. And it's the same thing with the younger kid. If they want to be a professional player, let's get you back to doing that. Let's get you into the activities and get you a little more coordinated, because maybe they haven't hit puberty yet, or maybe they just can't figure out where their body is in space. So we're trying to really help get them back and understand we're treating everybody equal. So even if there is a professional athlete, it doesn't matter. We have somebody on the next table, they're equally as important. We provide the same level of care for them. If you're a swimmer, we have a highly competitive master swimmer, and then we have right next to her on the table is somebody she practices with going to the Olympics in 2020 for her 4th time. So
wow.
It's one of those things that we really try and make sure everybody feels like they're getting equal care, so nobody feels like they're left out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we really enjoy doing that. We really make sure that we progress every single appointment, that we have results. So it's really important for us. While in the industry, we're only required every 4 weeks to do a reevaluation, or workers' comp has different demands. Every single appointment, we want to make sure that we really sit down with the patient, understand where they're going with this. So if we need to do, if we need to change up their exercise, if we need to change their manual work, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that they feel they're coming and something is new, that they're making progress, that they're getting results from being with us. So that's something that we really find to be important as one of our values. We also want to make sure that we show care and compassion, empathy for everybody. So again, it kind of goes along with the respect side of everything. We want to make sure that they know that we understand where they're coming from. Most of us got into physical therapy because we were injured, so that we understand. We've been there, we're human too. And some of us have had injuries while we're working side by side with them. So being caring, being empathetic to what they have going on. And then our last one is being an evidence-based practice. So we really make sure that we do our research, we stay on top of it. We just got done with the Sports Medicine Summit this last weekend to help us make sure that we're staying on top of what's going on with the surgical side of things. So those are the main things that incorporate what we believe in at T.O.P.S.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to put such an emphasis on respect and compassion, because having had, I've been an athlete my whole life, so I've always been lucky in the PT department, but I've had other people tell me just horror stories about how they weren't treated well, and I think to myself, how does that happen? You're in the taking care of people business,
Right.
So good for you for making that such an important part of what you do. So we're partnering up your practice with one of the WebPT values, and that WebPT value is called Be Minty.
Yes.
Which is really funny, right?
It is.
Because I have a little personality, right?
I like it. That's why I love WebPT.
And one of the things I really loved about what you do is that your dad works with you, and you've got dogs in the practice, and there's definitely a personality right away when you walk into your office. Your windows face 16th Street, and so you get to see the world happening around you.
Yes.
So right out of the gate, your office already feels minty. I just want to let you know that.
I appreciate it. And actually, I have both my parents working with me, so it's awesome.
That's awesome. I grew up in a family business, and I had my parents working for me too. So good for you, and God bless you. Right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how that value resonates with T.O.P.S.
I think the first thing you think about with being Minty is just being fresh, having a smile on your face, clean breath, you know what I mean? Like those are all the things, and spice it up a little bit. So like you said, I think when you walk in, you immediately know, like there's a fresh look at this. This isn't the sterile place with polos and khakis, and I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. There's definitely a time and place for that. It's just not our feel. And so we definitely have that industrial athlete type look. We're all wearing athletic gear, we're ready to go, we're constantly on the move, so you don't see us just sitting around on our computers, and when you sit down with us, we don't just have this iPad, then we're like, okay, tell us what's going on.
We have good music, I noticed that.
So yeah, we have the music is loud, we have dogs running around that you can play with, and then we just, like I said, so along with the core values and being compassionate and also evidence-based practice, we like to keep our knowledge fresh and what we're doing fresh. So if you come in, while some of the foundations are foundations, you have to stick with it. We do progress our exercise. We progress what we're doing, and sometimes maybe we were doing something and we've tweaked it because we found a better way to do it. So all of us are very active within the clinic, which then while we're working out, we're like, oh, I should totally do that with a patient. Like, oh, I should do this. So we try and keep it fresh with everything we're doing. Everybody has a smile on their face when we're working on the tables back and forth. There's a lot of banter that goes on, so we have a lot of competitions and different things like that. So it definitely stays fresh for us.
Well, and I know that having a happy place to go to when you're injured is really helpful.
Yes.
Because I've been there when I wasn't able to scratch my nose, and it's depressing.
Yes.
When you're in, I had double leg braces a couple of years ago. I ruptured my Achilles tendon and tore my LCL at the same time, same week. I was in double leg braces for 5 weeks. So for me, going to getting PT and having my therapist have a sense of humor was really helpful.
Yes.
Because I was like, wanting to kill myself the rest of the time, right?
And we have a lot of the fire and police tends to be our largest patient population.
So
they're so
heavy.
active and ready to go.
Yeah.
And so then when you all of a sudden put them out on a table,
it's super hard.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And so especially when they get isolated, because then they're off duty, so they're used to interacting with so many people, and then they go off duty, and then even light duty sometimes, if they're just at a computer, it's a very isolating feeling compared to when they're out in the field.
Sure.
And so that's something that we try and make it, just a collaborative effect, that there's camaraderie there, we're all there to support each other. We can still have banter, but we're still there to support each other.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you could choose any company to partner with for your software.
Yes.
Why choose WebPT, and what's the benefit of working with a company like WebPT?
So I have this question a lot just because I do promote WebPT so much and I love it, and I have friends that are starting their own practices, so I've helped them, and really I always like to say that birds of a feather flock together. So I really believe that when Heidi and Brad were making the software, that they were inside of my head and how I would design it, and I love the way their business runs. I love how all of it goes. So that's one of those things that right from the top I knew I liked them. And then as far as you can oftentimes say that the cream rises to the top. So those companies that are elevated to a different level, I feel like we just kind of go towards each other. We resonate each other's opinions. and feelings and opinions when it comes to doing notes or how to take care of this or how to treat people. So I really believe that not only do I like the product that they provided, but I like who they are. I like the employees at WebPT, and I'd say I love them. I don't even, it's not just like, I love them. I really,
they're minty.
They're super minty. All of their core values, they all really stress. You call them up on the phone and they do what they say. You follow them on social media and they are what they say they are. So we really like that about them. And we feel that, again, like I said, that we resonate together.
It's really cool to hear that, because Heidi, for folks that don't know this, she is a rehab therapist. She is a physical therapist. So the reason why she was in your head is because she has the same training as you do.
Exactly.
Extensive, expensive, long-term training that it takes to become a physical therapist.
Yes. So
and I think sometimes people think that being a physical therapist is less than being a doctor.
Right.
And you guys go through just as much education as doctors do, just in a different way, right?
Right. It's definitely a little bit different, but it's one of those things that we definitely go through the extensive education. When they do their specialties, they have a lot more that they go into depth with. But yes, we have the luxury here in Arizona to have direct access where patients can come directly to us and they don't need a script. So with that said, it makes us have a lot more responsibility, and we need the knowledge a lot more than just the average person that's told what to do in a rehab setting. So yeah, so it's awesome.
So the last question is one I ask everybody I interview.
Yes.
It's been about 100 people now over the past 4 years.
Nice.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
And I ask everybody the same thing. So you're not only a physical therapist, you're also a business owner.
Correct.
Which is not for wimps.
No.
Right?
No, it's not.
So you got to walk through a ton of fear as a business owner.
Yes.
And then also to be the practitioner at the same time. You know, so you're not just running the practice, you actually are a physical therapist.
Correct.
So what have you learned about being fearless that you can share with other people that maybe you're, you know, skittish of the word fearless, you know?
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm fearless.
And we all say that too. Good, you're in.
I think the bottom line is just always recognize your inner strength, really rely on that support system that you have, and those people who have always been there for me, I know they're still always going to be there for me. And so I know that I can look back at my previous successes, whether it's projects in school or grades in school or, you know, the academics that I did or sports that I did or, you know, whatever it is. I mean, accomplishments with Girl Scouts, accomplishments with different things. I think that a lot of that has really given me the confidence in being able to own a business and recognize that while I've always had success, I will continue to have success even in the times that you're like, I don't think I can do it. I really feel like it's everybody else that's really helped to support me to make me feel that I am fearless, more or less, in doing what I'm doing.
You've had 100% of getting through all the things that have happened so far.
Yes.
Success, right? I've always thought that way myself. Like, okay, I haven't blown up yet.
And that's wherever I trip.
Nobody's lit on fire. I got through it, right?
Right. And when I've tripped and fallen and maybe had a failure somewhere, I learned from it and became a success. And I really have tried to learn from other people's failures so that I don't make a lot of those. But every year there's a failure. Every month there's something that we fail at hypothetically, but they're just little hiccups that then allow you to be more successful in the end. So.
Well, I want to thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
And,
thank you.
You know, thank you for what you do for our community and for the people that you serve.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I look forward to seeing you and your team on May 18th at the opening, which is at the Arizona Science Center.
Perfect.
And I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thank you. You too.